So it's super late. It's like 11:30, and I have to be up at 5:30. But I'm going to take this time to record a video because there's two really important things that I want to point out. And I just posted a picture of myself holding an I voted sticker in a wonderful Nightmare Before Christmas shirt because Halloween is tomorrow, or, well, like in 30 minutes, it'll be Halloween. I posted on there that, you know, I don't usually consider myself to be a Republican. I don't label myself politically as a Republican. I label myself either a libertarian or a constitutional conservative. But I voted for Ted Cruz today because I feel that it's too dangerous not to. There's too many people out there who saw Beto or whatever his name is, O'Rourke's stolen Whataburger sign, because totally this whole theme for his sign literally looks like the spicy ketchup containers from Whataburger. Just saying. But they're buying into his empty promises. For example, teachers. He said some really awesome things about teachers. And if he really wanted to do those things for teachers, it would be difficult for me to justify not voting for him. But he's not going to do those things. Nobody does those things. Everybody says things like that. We are expendable as teachers. Do we get paid as much as we should? No. Do we do a lot? Yes. So far this school year, from August to now, there have been 5 or so days that I have gotten to work at 10 minutes to 7 in the morning and not left until 10 o'clock at night. And that's not, standing in my room teaching, obviously. That is because I'm working extra things after school because I otherwise have trouble making ends meet. And as a teacher, you would think that as a professional, I should get paid more than that. And I think I should get paid more than that. But I love my district and I'm not going to complain, because if it was all about the money, I would be chasing the money. I love where I work and I love the kids I work with and I love what I do. And that's the thing about teachers. Most of us really feel that way. And so we are the expendable group. Politicians every now and then will throw us a bone. Oh, look, we're going to make things better for you if you vote for us. And then we do, and nothing ever changes because people will always be teachers. I'm not going to, if Beto O'Rourke doesn't do whatever it is he said he's going to do, I'm not going to quit teaching because of that. I'm just not. I love getting up in front of my students and making them as interested, or trying to make them as interested in whatever we're talking about as I am. When I get up there and I'm like, oh my God, guys, the ancient Egyptians, they were just so freaking cool. Let me show you pictures. Let's talk about their mythology. Let's talk about knights and feudalism and the feudal system of Europe versus the feudal system of Japan. And let's talk about the geography of Europe and how the world wars changed the physical geography, not only with the political map, but also the physical geography of Europe. Okay, I love getting up and talking about that kind of stuff with my students because it's really interesting. But I'm not doing that so that I can get paid millions of dollars, because it's not going to happen. And that's okay that it's not going to happen. But I don't need to vote for Beto O'Rourke's empty promises because he said he might try to make that happen. Because he's not. He's one guy. Even if he really does want to do that, he's one guy. And that also means that he doesn't understand what independent school district means. He can't just go to the Senate and say, hey, we need to pay all of our teachers more because we have independent school districts. They have a little bit more freedom than those city schools do in other areas. But maybe if Beto had paid a little bit of attention in his social studies classes, he might know that. So, there's that too. But it astounds me how many social studies teachers specifically, but teachers in general, who should know this because we all have degrees, are willing to vote for a candidate who promotes socialism. Like, do you not teach what happened in Eastern Europe and China and, North Korea now and Venezuela and all these places where socialism turned into communism and turned into really bad things? Or do you just focus on Canada has socialized healthcare and they're doing fantastic. Denmark, that's a good place. Okay. No, there's a whole lot of other problems there that they don't like to bring up. They bring up the roses and flowers and rainbows and butterflies and all that kind of, oh, look, socialism's wonderful. Everybody's happy. Everybody's broke. Yeah, healthcare is free because if it wasn't, then ain't nobody gonna be able to afford nothing over there. They're being taxed to the point of poverty. And they're pretending that that's not the case, but it really is the case. And every time some brave soul over there in Denmark or somewhere gets the courage to speak out about it, suddenly we can't find that person anymore. They're gone. Or they're their page comes down. Facebook finds a way to take their page down, or Denmark finds a way to take their page down. One of the things that makes our country great is we don't censor what people say, or we try. Facebook has been lately doing that, and social media does sometimes. They're not supposed to, but for the most part, we can speak out against the government. People can get up on their soapbox and talk about how horrible Trump is, and they are not going to be thrown in jail for doing that. Now, if you're a conservative and you speak out, you might get thrown in jail because apparently what's good for the goose is not always good for the gander. You might get thrown in Facebook jail for 30 days for posting things that are offensive. But in other countries, that's not the case. And if you speak out against the way their government is functioning, you don't have the same protections that you have here. So all of the people sitting around here going, I wish we lived in Denmark so I could build. No, please go to Denmark. Go to Denmark and pull the same stunt you tried to pull here and see how well that works out for you. Or Venezuela. Everybody wants to talk about how great things are there. Let's go there. You can't even find freaking toilet paper. People are shitting in the streets and not able to find toilet paper because they're out of everything because socialism is wonderful. The other thing I want to point out is political ads. And when a right-wing person has a political ad on TV or a sign, they have a tendency to label themselves as a conservative Republican, or just a conservative in general. When's the last time you saw a sign that labeled a Democrat candidate as a liberal? I have yet, not in this election and not in the 2016 presidential election and all the other subsequent elections that were going on at that same time. I've never seen in recent years a sign that said a liberal Democrat. Never. And there's a reason for that. Liberal has become an insult. My students at school, regardless of the political affiliation they have, and while most of them tend to be more conservative just because of the area I live in, that doesn't mean they all are like that. And there are some that really don't like Trump. But they still use the word liberal as an insult to other students. And that is saying that speaks volumes about what's going on on the left, on the political left. They don't want to put that on their signs. They don't want to put that in their TV ads because if they label themselves as a liberal, they are going to lose votes. Nobody wants to vote for a liberal. People have chosen different words. Progressive. Okay? That's the new thing. We're progressive. Inclusive. Things like that. But they will never admit to being a liberal because it has become a bad word to be associated with. And if you're willing to vote for somebody who won't even admit what they stand for because they know that using the L word will make them lose votes, it's probably not something or someone, an idea or a person that you should be voting for. And socialism in any way, shape, or form is one of those things. It is a liberal idea brought up by liberal politicians to try to make our country more liberal, but none of them are going to use that word to describe it. If you have to make up terms to describe something because you can't use the actual term to describe the thing is probably not a good thing. Also, I want to give a shout out to my school that I work at. Our football team is district champions this year. We were undefeated in district, and we will be going to the playoffs in a couple of weeks. That's awesome. It also means I get to work more football games for extra money, which is so exciting. It really is, because I like being at the football games. It's fun. I like the band. That's my favorite part. Go band. But anyway, I hope that you thought about something while watching this, and I hope that triggered you to think, because that's my goal. I want you to think for yourself. I don't want the media leading you in either direction. I want you to notice things. I want you to say, hey, wait a minute. You know what? I never noticed that, but now I do. Okay? So think for yourself. Don't be a sheep. Go out and vote and keep Texas red. Have a great evening.